Hi everyone, in today's video I'm showing you what I made for the Simpsons collab that was put together by Soul on Instagram. I believe it's her first collab that she's hosted, but she did such a good job and she's such a sweetheart, so I highly recommend you go check her out. I will also be linking her in the description box, and I'll also be putting the hashtag for this collab in the description, so you can check it out here on YouTube if anybody else is posting videos, and you can also check it out on Instagram, maybe Twitter too. I'm not exactly sure where everyone is posting. It was such a fun idea. I loved watching The Simpsons growing up. I watched it all through the 90s, although admittedly I was a little nervous to join this club just because it's been like 20 years since I've actually watched the show, because like I said, I grew up watching it. Like, I watched it all through the 90s anytime I could catch it on TV, but since I was like in high school, I haven't really watched it, and also because of the fact that I haven't had cable in years because Netflix and all that. But aside from like a crossover episode that The Simpsons and Family Guy did, and then I believe there was a Simpsons movie that came out like 10 plus years ago, if I remember correctly. Aside from those, I haven't seen the actual show since like the 90s, literally. Anyways, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, I did create the KWIK-E-MART, which is a convenience store that everyone visits throughout the show. And I've been wanting to create a build like this for a long time, so I was so relieved when Julie added me to the collab and this build was available. Of course, I picked it, and I was able to find a decent amount of reference pictures, luckily, because I definitely wanted to make it look as close to what it looks like in the show, but I know there's probably been like changes throughout the years. I don't know exactly how it could have changed visually in the show exactly, but just like little details, I'm sure like things were moved and stuff, but I did try to do just like an overall look of the KWIK-E-MART, and just and then also work with whatever we have in game because I don't use custom content. And Julie actually also gave us the option of only doing the outside of the build to make it look like any reference pictures we wanted, and we didn't have to furnish the inside necessarily, but I thought I had to do the inside too because of the fact that it's a convenience store, and with the big windows and door in the front, you can kind of see through the building, or through the window to see what's inside in the screenshots. And so I feel like it just made sense to actually do a complete build. And also I didn't want to like trick people and make them think that I created the KWIK-E-MART and then them download it and then, oh, just kidding, it's just an empty room. So I wanted to make sure that I I completed the inside, and I did make this a retail lot, and I also built it on the lot in Willow Creek that has the blue velvet building on it. Of course, you can tell by looking in the top left of this screen because I totally forgot to change the title of the build while I was building, but of course I did save it to the gallery and it just says KWIK-E-MART. I will also have my gallery ID and everything, all the information in the description box, so be sure to check that out. I was trying to match a lot of the colors of this build to the reference pictures too. Like in the beginning of this video, you could see that I made the concrete around the build a kind of like red tone because a lot of the reference pictures I was looking at, the concrete is like a kind of purplish red, but there was no swatch in the game that matched up to it. That's why I ended up changing it to a regular color cement. But if you're familiar with the show, a lot of the color schemes of the show, like, it's very arbitrary looking colors, just things that aren't necessarily normal to real life anyways. So things are very like not realistic looking in the show, and I was gonna try to match everything accordingly, but it didn't look right to me because of the fact that the red tone of the cement in the game was so close to the exterior color that I used on the building, and I didn't want it to just look like a huge like different shades of orange and red build. So I did end up changing the concrete, and I also do some last minute changes to the landscaping around the outside at the end of this speed build. And you might notice, I didn't notice while I was building, but when I first put the little arcade game thing inside of the building, it was protruding out the side of the wall. And so I do end up noticing that at the very end of the build, and so I did fix it. So if you were to download this build, it wouldn't be sticking out the side anymore. But I get really frustrated when I'm doing cluttered type builds, or like especially when I'm trying to clutter shelves. So I did kind of jump cut when I was stocking the shelves inside of the store, because I was just getting frustrated that things weren't like clipping the way I wanted them to and everything. And so I kind of jump cut from starting to stock the shelves to it like already being done. And also I figure like nobody really cares to see me place every single object that I'm putting on the shelves. I just get so irritated sometimes, and because I don't use the tool mod really. I've only used it a couple times for like very small things, but I generally don't use it, and because I just don't have the patience for it. And so it got to a point where I was just choosing like whatever I could find that I thought could make sense being in a convenience store. But I don't know, I mean, obviously it's not perfect, and I was also thinking like whatever, the Sims don't care. They're not actually going to be looking through the shelves or anything like that. So I did just kind of put things on the shelves just to get it over with and be done with it. But my main focus was, of course, the exterior of the build and trying to get it to look like the reference as much as I could. And I also just wanted to get like the area where the shop owner would stand and everything like that. I just wanted to make sure that kind of looks similar to in the show, because like I said, I was looking for a lot of reference pictures, but it was a little bit hard just because things were kind of different in all the pictures that I saw. And there was like a certain part of the store that I couldn't really figure out what was there, which is where I ended up putting the bathroom for this build. I'm sure it's not really a huge deal, and if anything, it's probably better that I put a bathroom in this build so that the Sims could use it if they're, shopping and have the urge to go to the bathroom. I really hope you like how this turned out. Like I said, be sure to check out Julie's Instagram account, and I will be linking her YouTube channel in this video too. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed seeing how I created this KWIK-E-MART from The Simpsons. Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, and I appreciate anyone who's watching this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!